One of the things about this channel that has been problematic, and I agree with a lot of subscribers, is that there has been a lot of negativity on this channel. And the world is negative enough as it is. In fact, if you're watching the news right now, you are probably at the very least concerned about what's going on. I'm not going to tell you whether or not you feel justified about certain actions that have been taken, but you're concerned about the future. And I would be right there with you. And so I want to actually spend some days, particularly Saturdays and Sundays, where I talk about stories that can just make you feel good about the world a little bit more. There's a lot of negativity in the world. We do have to talk about some of it, but we don't need to talk about it all the time. So, hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you've been here, please do me a favor. If you like this video and other videos like it, click that subscribe button and ring that bell notification. We upload videos on a near daily basis, and you will want to be notified of premieres, live streams, and new videos when they go up. So, one of my biggest problems, well, not one of my biggest problems, one of my viewers' biggest problems is like my channel kind of became popular as the guy who crapped on Uber every day. Look at what Uber's doing today, what they're doing, awful, awful, awful. And here's the thing. Yeah, it's predominantly negative. It always was. And that's because I'm reporting the news. I'm not making stuff up, or at least I'm not intentionally making stuff up. I am reporting the news, and the news about Uber and Lyft are typically bad. However, once in a while, Uber drivers get a little bit of serendipity, a little bit of good fortune, a little bit of kindness from a stranger. This is one of those stories. An Uber driver earned a college degree thanks to nearly $700 in help from a passenger. This is great. This is a wonderful story to talk about. Let's look at this. So, when Latonia Young received her associate's degree from Georgia State University last month, in the stands to watch her graduate were her family, her friends, and an Uber passenger who made her graduation possible. The passenger, Kevin Esch, hey, great name, paid nearly $700 to Georgia State last summer to release a financial hold that prevented Young from attending school for years. Quote, I have thanked him so much, but I feel like I haven't thanked him enough, Young told Good Morning America on I don't know how to pronounce that name, I'm sorry, we're just going to call him Kevin, on Kevin's generosity. It was not just the money, but his willingness and his sacrifice for me to do better in life. This man knew me for maybe 20 minutes. This is the guy. This is the woman who has graduated. A great, great photo. Now, for those of you who are not aware of what's going on right now, because I actually know a little bit about this, not from personal experience, mind you, but I watched the movie Hoop Dreams. That is probably my favorite documentary of all time. I believe you can stream it right now on the Criterion channel. If you don't want to sign up to the Criterion channel to watch it, you know what? The DVD is $30. The Blu-ray is $40. It is well worth the money. You will watch that many times, I believe. But here's the thing. One of the situations, it's about two inner city kids who are both aiming for the NBA dream. And one of them makes it a little farther than the other early on because for one of the kids, because of some politics and some unpaid tuition, I'm not going to get into it here, it's a 3-hour movie and it's well worth spending the 3 hours with it. However, what happens is the parents are behind the payments. And so the school holds on to his transcripts, so until that tuition is paid off. They don't have the money to pay the tuition. Therefore, the transcripts can't be released. Therefore, this kid is finding himself held back academically by the school system who just wants to get paid. Now, I'm not saying schools are wrong for wanting to get paid. However, I do believe that holding transcripts hostage is not the way to do it. There should be another punishment that is suitable but does not hold back kids from their potential. So that was probably a situation. For whatever this woman, for whatever reason, we're not making judgments, could not pay the school, so they held onto her transcripts. This man was a good man. He decided, for whatever reason, he was going to give the school the $700 so that the transcripts could be released and she could go to another school. Young, a single mom of 3 sons, began to drive for Uber and Lyft nearly 5 years ago to help make ends meet and supplement the money she makes as a hairstylist. The 43-year-old Georgia resident dropped out of high school at age 16 when she became pregnant with her oldest son, now 26. She earned her GED in 2007 but said she wasn't fully satisfied because I felt like I hadn't accomplished the goal that needed to be accomplished. I didn't want to stop there. So she enrolled at Georgia State in 2010 and began to take classes but was soon stopped because of a $693 financial hold in her account. I asked them, could I pay it monthly, and they said they didn't do payment arrangements, so I kind of stopped going to school at that point. Then shortly after that, I was in a really bad car accident and underwent 2 surgeries. Every time Young would work extra shifts and come up with the $693 she needed to return to school, she said something would happen and she would need the money to help either her mom or her sons. This happens all the time, by the way. You have goals that you want to save for, and it's always good to have goals. But life gets in the way, and before you know it, that money that you were saving for that goal is no longer a thing. I guess the best visual example I can think of is Up, the opening of Up, where Carl and his wife want to travel, and they have like the little savings jar, and they're always putting money in, but then, there's a flat tire, and then like the tree falls through the window, and they always have to keep dipping into it to the point where they never actually go. And this is very common, unfortunately. That it's no one's fault, it just happens. And so that's what was going on here. But here's the thing. All of that changed in May 2018 when Young happened to be the Uber driver assigned to pick up Kevin outside Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. He got in the car and was really happy and talkative, she recalled. I'm a people person too, so I always try to talk to people in my car. You will always do much better at any job you do if you are friendly and talkative. That's just a little advice. Take it what you will. Let's see here. Young and Kevin struck up a conversation deeper than most that happened in Uber rides, with Kevin telling Young he was going through a divorce and Young offering tips she learned through her own divorce. When Kevin, 44, of Brookhaven, Georgia, started asking Young more about herself, she opened up about all she had been through and her desire to obtain a college degree. Quote, I told him that a lot of concerts were going on that weekend and I was going to work a lot to make the money I needed. Kevin gave her a $120 tip for the ride. So on top of paying for her tuition or whatever his financial hold was, he gave her an additional $120 tip. That is extremely generous. This sounds like a very good man. Still feeling inspired by Young's college dream, he went a few days later in person to Georgia State University and paid off her $693 hold, allowing her to start classes again. Quote, it was something I could do that I thought was worth it and would really help her. Young recalls receiving a text from Kevin that included a photo of the receipt and said, okay, you're all set. Register for your classes. And here's a Facebook post where she writes, you never know who God will send to change your life. All thanks to the man upstairs. I had my son at a young age, dropped out of high school, but it's not how you start life, it's how you finish it. I'm encouraging you all that need an extra push not to give up. 9 days until I walk and become able to graduate a Georgia State University. Wonderful. I still have the text that sent me and my response. I wrote back, oh my God. I told him I feel like your $693 is $1 million. I felt like I hit the jackpot. That weekend, I didn't make enough to pay the $693, and I tried to give it to Kevin, and he wouldn't take it. He told me to use it for my kids. Young started back at Georgia State in August 2018 and walked across the stage last month to receive her associate's degree in criminal justice. I love it. I love it. Kevin, who Young still keeps in touch with, watched her accept her degree. And this is what he wrote. He wrote, what an incredibly special gift. Thank you, Dean Nancy Crops, for the heartfelt letter and picture frame to commemorate Latonia's graduation. I'm honored to have been a part of the story and hope that it can serve as an inspiration to all. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. So, yeah, obviously, it goes a little bit more to talk about, but this is just a wonderful story. This is a wonderful story. Now, I do want to preface that even though this is a positive Uber story, Uber didn't do anything for this woman. They didn't. And they should be paying her more, and, but God bless her, she was really trying. I do not mind when people do Uber for these reasons, because they have a goal, and they're trying to get to it. Uber's actually not bad to do if you have a goal in mind, just don't make it a long-term career, is what I'm saying. But there was a little bit of serendipity. Maybe God was watching out for her. I believe he was. And this kind stranger just gave her the money. And that's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. I would love to talk to one of these two. If ever they saw this video, I'd love to interview them on this channel. And this kind of shows that there's still good people out there. So, you know what? I know that right now the news is really concerning, to be moderate. There's a lot of concerning stuff in the world. There's a lot of things that, I've actually lost a little bit of sleep over because I kind of wonder how's it going to turn out. But it just goes to show that as long as there are good people in the world, good things will continue to happen. And she totally deserved this. He's a good man. They both seem like wonderful people. I am very happy to talk about the story. And that's where we're going to leave it, though. What do all of you folks think? What do you think about the story? And how great is this? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.